Not just a hot week, this is the week British homes start acting like ovens. And if you live in the UK, this video is a survival guide for what to do in extreme heat. How to keep your house cooler, how to stop your body overheating, how to spot the difference between discomfort and a medical emergency, and how to protect people around you who might not cope with this heat on their own. Because this heatwave has escalated. A few days ago, many people thought this was just another uncomfortable spell of British summer weather. Now health officials are talking about risk to life. The Met Office has raised the warning level, and this is no longer just about sunburn, barbecues and drinking more water. The danger with heat in Britain is we do not respect it like cold. If it snows, everyone understands it can be dangerous. But when it is hot, people say finally a bit of sunshine. They walk the dog, exercise, open every window, sit in beer gardens, and by the time they realise they are in trouble, the heat has already got ahead of them. In 2022, when the UK hit 40 degrees for the first time, thousands of excess deaths were recorded during heat periods in England and Wales. So this video is not about panic, it's about being useful before the heat arrives. Welcome back to Charlie Survival. This channel is about staying calm and capable when things get hard. No bunker fantasy, just practical British preparedness. And this one hit differently for me because I completed my FREC 3 last week, and one of the biggest things we covered was heat illness, heat exhaustion, heat stroke, and how quickly someone can go from I'm just a bit too hot to a genuine medical emergency. So when this warning escalated, it felt like exactly the kind of thing we were being trained to recognise. And with everything else happening in the world right now, this is the most important video I had to prioritize because it is life-threatening and we need to be prepared for it. By the end of this video, you should know what to do with your house, your body, the warning signs, when to call 999, and how to look after the people around you. Because in a heatwave, survival is not dramatic gear, it is acting early. The UK Health Security Agency says a red heat alert means risk to life even for the healthy population. The Met Office warns of serious illness, danger to life and disruption to services. Parts of England and Wales are expected to climb into the high 30s, possibly around 40 degrees. And that matters because Britain is bad at losing heat. Our homes are designed to trap warmth. Our routines are built around mild weather. Most of us live in houses with no air conditioning and upstairs rooms that bake. Now, before the practical steps, I know a lot of you are going to be asking, is this part of El Nino? We are tipping into an El Nino pattern, and yes, El Nino can add heat into the global system. El Nino is a Pacific pattern and its influence on British summers is weak. What is cooking us this week is high pressure, hot air from Europe, light winds, humidity, and a warmer climate. So no, you can simply not pin this on El Nino. Shockingly, this is the kind of heat that Britain now has to prepare for. Your home, family, and routines need a heat plan. Now let's talk about the home. British homes are built to keep warmth in and cold out. Brilliant in February, but a rising concern in summer. Many British homes do not cool down once they get hot. They absorb heat through the day, then hold it after sunset. This is why the night matters. A hot day is one thing, but a hot day followed by a warm, sticky night, followed by another extreme day, is when the body starts losing its chance to recover. Your body needs cooler nights to reset and lower strain on the heart and lungs, and this heat wave has another nasty ingredient: humidity. Humid heat is a different animal. It does not just feel sticky, it makes it much harder for sweat to evaporate properly. And sweating is your body's main cooling system. If sweat cannot evaporate well, your body struggles to dump heat, so your heart and lungs work harder. If you already have asthma, COPD, a heart condition, kidney problems, or you're elderly, this can become serious fast. If that is you or someone in your house, do not tough it out. Keep medication close, stay cool, take exertion right down. If breathing gets worse or someone becomes confused, drowsy, or unable to cool down, get help. Here is the line to remember: if someone is hot, confused, breathing fast, not cooling down, or becoming drowsy, that is not just the heat, that is 999 territory. Now let's make the medical side simple. Someone comes back from the garden, dog walk, shops, beach, or bike ride. They look grey, they look wrong. Heat exhaustion is not usually an emergency, but it is your cue to act quickly. Get them somewhere cool and out of the sun, lie them down, raise their feet a little, remove clothing they do not need, give them cool water or a rehydration drink if you have one, cool the skin with damp cloth, sponge, or wrapped cold packs. Do not apply ice directly to the skin. They should start improving within about 30 minutes. If they do not improve, treat it as heat stroke. Heat stroke is a medical emergency. The signs are confusion, fast breathing, very hot skin, no improvement after cooling, seizure, collapse or unconsciousness. At this point, you do not wait and see. You call 999. Keep calling them while help is on the way. But do not pour fluids into someone who is drowsy, confused or unconscious. Being fit does not make you immune. Now, how do you stop it getting that far? You take the house back. During the day, if it is hotter outside than inside, keep the windows closed. Then pull curtains or blinds across anything the sun is hitting. You're stopping the sun turning your rooms into a greenhouse. Then, in the evening when the outside air is cooler, open windows on the opposite sides and flush the heat out. For sleeping, move to the coolest room you have. Usually that is downstairs, away from the afternoon sun. Heat rises. A fan can help when the air is below about 35 degrees. Above that, do not rely on it as your main way of cooling down. Your priority should be cooling the skin, lowering the room temperature, drinking steadily, and getting into a genuinely cooler space. Switch off what you are not using. Lights, computers, ovens, tumble dryers, televisions and chargers all add heat. The kit for this does not need to be complicated. A room thermometer, blackout blinds, oral rehydration salts, a battery fan, and bottles of water cooled in the fridge. I have put useful kit on the Charlie Survival Amazon kit list in the description. You can find everything you need there, from home survival to food storage. And if you do want a free starting point, the blackout checklist is pinned in the comments. And if you want to take this further and get your home properly prepared, I made a full UK preparedness course, the UK Crisis Readiness System. There's only 7 days left on the half price sale, so if you've been thinking about getting it, now is the time. Now, let's talk about the body. The house is half the battle, your body is the other half. Stay out of the worst of it. Between late morning and mid-afternoon, do less. Move errands, dog walks, runs, rides, garden jobs, and heavy work to the cooler edges of the day. If you have to go out, wear loose, light clothing and a hat and sun cream. Carry more water than you think you need. Now is the time to invest in a water purifier if you've been thinking about it. Plan shade and slow down. And this is especially for active people, cyclists, hikers, anglers, runners, and anyone who thinks they can push through. I can tell you from experience, the heat does not care about how fit you are. If you're working hard in a 40-degree day, you're creating heat inside your body on top of the heat outside it. That is how strong, healthy people get into trouble. Drink steadily throughout the day. Replace salts as well as water. Go easy on alcohol, too much coffee and sugary drinks. A cold beer in the evening is one thing, letting it be your only fluid is another. For fast cooling, use a cool shower, cold water on your wrists, or a cold cloth across your neck. Now the parts I most want you to act on. Check on the people around you. People who die in heat waves are often not collapsing dramatically in the street. They are older people, people with heart or lung conditions, people with kidney problems, babies, people living alone, and people quietly overheating at home overnight. So check on them today, tomorrow, and through the peak. Make sure they understand the window rule, because many people instinctively fling every window open and slowly bake the house. A 2-minute knock on a door might be the most useful thing in this entire video. And if the home is unbearable, think about cooler public spaces, a library, supermarket, church or community centre. With children, avoid midday sun, keep fluids going, keep prams shaded but ventilated. And one rule with no exception, never leave a child, vulnerable adult or dog in a parked car. In this heat, a car can become lethal frighteningly fast. Now, one last danger. Water. When it gets this hot, people head for rivers, beaches, lakes and reservoirs. This is when drowning spikes. The trap is that the air might be roasting, but the water can still be cold. Jump in hot and you can trigger cold water shock, a sudden gasp, panic, and your breathing and heart rate spike. Going slowly and with someone else. Never jump into open water you do not know. And remember the RNLI phrase, float to live. If you are in trouble, tip your head back, relax, let your breathing settle, and use your hands gently to stay afloat. And remember, for rip currents, do not fight against it, swim around it. There is one final point here. Extreme heat does not just affect your body, it puts pressure on everything at once. More people use fans, fridges, freezers and air conditioning. People use more water. Railways can slow down. Hospitals, care homes, ambulances and outdoor workers face the heat as demand rises. That is why this belongs on a survival preparedness channel. Preparedness is not just about blackout, storms or food shortages. Sometimes one weather event can put pressure on your home, your body, your neighbours and the systems around you all at once. This is not the last hot spell Britain will see, it's just the one with a date on it. Prepared, not scared, that is the whole game. If this was useful, grab the free blackout checklist in the pinned comment. Check the Amazon kit list in the description and subscribe if you want calm, practical UK preparedness without the nonsense. And if you do want to learn how to prepare your UK home for a crisis, I highly recommend grabbing my course, the UK Crisis Readiness System, while it's half price. You can find that in the pinned comments as well. If you enjoyed this video and gained some value from it, I highly recommend watching this video on screen next about 25 survival hacks that can save you in a 7-day blackout. Click it and I'll see you over there.